One of the challenges that we've had is how to take this information and present it in an easy-to-use, understandable format. The information may be outdated, it may be incorrect, or it may not have been recorded correctly the first time. So we send people out to field verify the vaults and make sure the information is accurate. This is time-consuming and difficult and can't always be done due to scheduling concerns or other environmental pressures. However, the information is invaluable. When Everett got back from Autodesk University, he was very excited to tell us about this new technology called ReCap and what it was capable of doing. So I went out and shot a few photos, not knowing fully what to expect, and we ran the model. We were absolutely blown away by the level of detail. We immediately saw the potential that this type of technology would have for our industry. Now we could capture things that we would only see once in a generation and model them for future use. Based on a suggestion, we obtained a wide-angle camera lens and began gathering data, as much of it as we could. Due to the fact that it was winter, trenches were hard to come by in the frozen landscape, so we opted instead to try to model vaults.
All right, we're going.
Don't forget it now, because last time you were fucking...
Last like 3 times I forgot.
Okay, now. And then what is he going to do with our...
Well, what he's done...
The vaults have been very difficult to model. Some of the vaults, as in this video, are wide open and dry, but many of them are full of water, or they are very crowded, some of them only allowing for as much as 2 men to be in there at one time. It is difficult to light the vault correctly to achieve the light levels necessary for the camera to obtain detailed enough photos to be able to stitch together and make it. Depending on if the vault is dry or not, the whole process of setting up the lights, checking air quality, etc., getting the ladder and the tools down there, can take about 20 to 30 minutes. Once the data has been gathered in the field, it's brought back to the office and downloaded into the ReCap software. The model itself is very valuable. All sorts of technicians from different disciplines can draw upon this model and use it for their aspect of work without actually having to field verify the vault, deal with confined spaces, or even getting in a truck and driving there to do it themselves. Comments can be shared via 360, and no one has to go underground to get in here. It's truly magical. One of the biggest differences between this model and the mobile-based application is the interface. The touch interface is much easier to manipulate than using a mouse, but they both have benefits and drawbacks over each other. The detail in these models is much higher, the resolution is much higher than in the mobile version. Here you can actually read the tags on the cables. That's how detailed they are. But the interface in the mobile version using touch controls is much more intuitive and fluid. I think the level of detail on these switches speaks for itself. It's truly remarkable technology. And again, the level of detail on this switch is simply fantastic. And here you'll see the different file formats that we're able to use with this technology. This was a project in a very congested part of our downtown district, in which we knew that if we didn't capture a good model on this, that once the project was finished, we would never see this again. It was to be encased in concrete, so it was vital that we capture a good model the first time that we pass through this area. This is the iOS version, the mobile app of ReCap, and as you can see, it's much more fluid, it's easier to manipulate, and while the resolution isn't as high, the level of detail is still very, very clear. Everything in this model is now covered in concrete. This is one where we modeled excavation done by another company because we were going to be doing work in the area and wanted to get an idea for the engineer as to what we were going to be dealing with when we dug into the ground. This is one of my favorite vaults because it had the aha moment that we were kind of looking for. You can see the detail with the switches on the ground. You can see the cables entering in and out of the side of the vault. What we like good about the mobile app is that you're able to see through the wall, and it's like a translucent box. You can actually see the writing on the transformer there. And if you look carefully, you can see the light bulbs on the ceiling, and where we took the cover off of one of the light bulbs there on the right-hand side. With the touchscreen interface, you can spin the model around. You can do touch to zoom. It's a lot more fluid and easier to manage, almost as if you were holding the vault in your hand.